My wife cheated, and I have to move on. This is the hardest moment of my entire life. I've been destroyed at my core. Wasted all these years building a life together and having kids, just for it to be shattered in an instant. Last month I discovered my wife was having a long distance affair by text message, phone calls, nudes, etc. We briefly split up, but agreed to reconciliation with therapy and whatnot. A few days later she got a text from her close friend saying he was coming to see her. That evening, she packed her stuff and never came back. I was devastated. He kicked his own wife and kid out, quit his job, and drove over 1,000 miles to see my wife and have sex with her. Fast forward a week. My mind is much clearer. She came over to the marital house this evening. It was clear she was completely divided in her emotions and had intense feelings of regret, even though she denies feeling any regret. After sitting down and talking, she finally just fessed up to every last detail, and we both mutually agreed we likely stopped loving each other months ago, which led to her cheating. And yes, it's still unacceptable. No doubt. I'm heartbroken. She told me she loved this man and had no feelings for me left. She was checked out, and honestly I felt the same. We sat and reminisced on the old times, going back over all the memories when we were younger. We shared hugs and smiles. We never thought we'd break up or divorce. But now, we both mutually agree that our marriage has completely failed, and obviously she has cheated and acknowledged it, which helped me a lot even with simple recognition. We have agreed on terms for the divorce and likely won't even need a lawyer for anything. Custody and all. We just want what's best for the kids. I've lost my lifelong partner and companion. I feel empty and devoid of life. She doesn't feel the same. No, I don't think her cheating relationship will work out, and she'll likely try to come back to me in the future. But for now, she'll have to figure that out on her own. She's still in the clouds in the honeymoon phase of cheater euphoria. I'm left picking up the pieces. But we will remain friends and parents. Godspeed everyone. Quickly push for the divorce. Once your wife's relationship is over and falls flat on her face, she will come back begging for a second chance. By then all the proceedings will be over. She will not have no place in your life. It is a blunt, cruel comment, but do it. She's in the fog. By the time she figures out that her new guy is a person who just callously dumped his wife and kids, you'll have moved on and her world will implode. Two cheaters make an extremely problematic couple, and their outlook is very dire. Good luck to you, App's wife, and all of the innocent children involved. Most likely her romance with the app will fizzle out, and when the fog lifts she will be knocking on your door. I feel bad for what you are going through, though the two of you, at least, came to the same conclusions about your marriage. As far as your wife is concerned, I'm reminded of an old saying that goes like this: be careful what you wish for, because someday it may come true. But we will remain friends. OP cordial, but indifferent, but never friend, cause friend don't leave you to pick up the pieces. And parents. This got to heard there's a copperant apps, it helps. Since no lawyer involved, you might want to Google it. Godspeed everyone. Beside them, sure, especially to you kids, the BS kids. Get the terms of the divorce agreed to you and written down as soon as possible while she's in the affair fog. Otherwise, she'll eventually come to her senses and fight for more. You're right that it's a disaster. How will it end? He lives 1,000 miles away and is jobless and incredibly cruel to his own spouse and child. Will she support him here? Is he going to completely abandon his child? Or will they move back there and she abandons her child? Nonetheless, the train wreck will eventually end. In the meantime, you get to heal and become the best damn father you can be while you have your kids. So deal with the emotional trauma she caused and recognize you can never be friends again after what she did. There is a right way and wrong way to divorce someone, and she did everything the wrong way. So in the meantime, work on yourself. Put distance between her and yourself and deal with the deep emotional trauma. You're the one more likely to find a healthier and happier relationship in the future, while she bounces from bad relationship to bad relationship, seeking out what she can't fulfill within herself. You definitely need a lawyer. We've seen this act before, where the husband thinks everything is cool until the wife walks into the courtroom with a shark of a divorce lawyer. Then he gets his ass handed to him. Protect yourself and your kids. Your ex is no longer a priority. He kicked his own wife and kid out, quit his job, and drove over 1,000 miles to see my wife and have sex with her. And this is the man she loves and admires. Those are admirable qualities. A man who could abandon his family. I'm speechless. Look, I'm not a cruel person. But you have to be practical now. Your marriage may have failed. I really wonder at your fatalism about this. But you have come to terms with it better than I could. You still have to leverage the best position you can for yourself post-divorce. If she could do this once, even if she grants you the schadenfreude of coming crawling back when this affair collapses, and it will collapse, what will you have? Then, a wife who is comfortable treating you like a revolving door. Get the paperwork going. You don't have to prove anything, and you don't have to play detective or marriage warden. End it as fast as you can, and work on the rest of your life. I'm very sorry this happened. People fall in and out of attraction all the time. But it's not a justification for adultery. I'm shocked your wife wants to defend this guy. If he would do that with your wife, he will do it to her, especially if they are just now meeting in person. You can be anyone you want in pictures or phone calls. Day-to-day life is not a fantasy. The fantasy land they created isn't real, and when reality sets in, your wife will be left with a slimy man who would cheat on his wife and leave his children. She will realize this, whether she admits it or not. Don't keep it a secret for her. If she didn't want people to think she's a cheater, she shouldn't cheat. Get the divorce done before this happens, because she will be expecting you to be her plan B. Move forward yourself, so you're well into indifference towards her when her fantasy bubble bursts. I'm sorry your wife isn't who you thought she was. A healthy person with integrity would never do this, no matter how bad the marriage was. Think about what you just described. He left his wife and kids, quit his job, and traveled 1,000 miles to have sex with your wife. While on the surface, that may seem like an idyllic Hollywood romance. In reality it means he's a bit unstable. With that said, their romance will likely be short-lived when reality sets in and he's jobless, kind of homeless, and paying alimony and child support to his old family. What this means for you, her affair fog is deep at the moment, but it won't be forever. Strike while the iron is hot. Get a lawyer and begin a favorable divorce as soon as possible. Whatever you do, please don't under any circumstances take your ex-wife back after her little relationship with this Ashat fails. Relationships built on a foundation of infidelity and deceit never work out. You're absolutely right. She's going to come crawling back to you saying that it was a mistake, that she realizes that you are the love of her life. Blah blah blah. Don't be her plan B. Go be someone's plan A. And one more thing. There's no such thing as just friends. Never fall for that childish garbage. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.